Thank you. With the laptop dead, I can't even look at nothing. I feel naked over here.
You can play it, then.
Thank you. You got 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes.
Oh, right. This went on.
Now you got 4 minutes. 1, 2.
Went on Facebook Live already.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, now you get a chance to bring people over. You got 4 minutes.
What's up?
I'm gonna come on
Yes,
in.
sir.
Come down onto BU Nation.
Yep, your BU Nation
Right
page.
now.
You just see Andy Lee's brother. He got a lot of cutie on his page. Tell him to come on over.
Who's Andy Lee's brother?
Got some of the R. You pronounce Rakim, Raheem, and Raheem.
Okay. What up, Brian Henderson? What up, Nathaniel? Anton, okay. Yo, Anton, you hear me? DNA here asked about you. I told him I saw you last week. I ain't gonna say where, but.
We're on live?
Yes.
Both?
Yes.
You right? Pete?
So what's going on, people?
Yes,
Who's coming on? We're
gonna start a
We ain't
little
on
bit.
yet.
What's going on Facebook, YouTube? I'm not sure we're on Instagram, but alrighty. Today's topic is about spectrums. Yeah. One of these days, if you are free, I'm definitely gonna have you, give a little shout out and tell about your little business to kind of promote some of your stuff, for our brothers and sisters out there. Oh no, I did tell him I'm just not gonna mention that live on the air. You know what I'm saying? Like that's on some, Yes, we'll talk about spectrums today. So what's everybody's week was like? What's the weekend? Any plans tonight? Saturday night? I know we need to put it out there so word get out there for real. Because 3 businesses, that's some major stuff right there. For real. What up, Corey? Corey, okay. Oh, definitely. I know. I got probably 2 panels. You probably sit on one panel, and my homeboy, because he kind of talks about, health and beauty products and all that other stuff. What up, Reynard? What up, Israel? What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on? How's the weekend? What's going on for this Saturday evening?
Yo, what's up? This your boy, Nicosa Fields, all the way from East Atlanta. We're hanging out with the DNA show.
All right, we about to get this show on the road. We about to get started soon.
Check out my single, Curvy, which is my boy, It's the 2nd off my album. I know what I'm doing to take. It's on every streaming media platform, so y'all make sure y'all add to the playlist now. Follow me at Nicosa Fields and follow me down at my FMG.
Yeah, it'll definitely change so many lives.
Oh, 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, we got Wiz in the building.
Take my horse to Oak Town. What's up, everybody? What's good? I'm saying Damien's in the building. Film, food, and more.
Man, Mr. Terrence Powell, what up, man? What up, Terrence?
In the building.
On there?
Huh?
I'm live on there with you.
Yeah, we live on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Skills, driving them
So
people crazy in Uber. I know.
I just can't hear myself.
You got a headphone there? Headphone?
Oh, you got the one headphone?
Three headphones.
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
She's working.
Work hard, make that money, man. It's all about that buck, yo.
It's the mic.
Oh, your mic is down.
Yeah, I got something to do later on time after this, so I'll be
So switch back.
you
Take
know,
the green, please.
out and about to 7
Maybe
a.m.
yo.
myself.
Just make sure the wire is okay. Please.
Hold on.
Look at right around this way. Right. Which way should I go? This way or that way? This way?
What up? What's good, people?
It is Saturday and it is so live tonight. For real. I don't know what it is going on, but I could feel something's going down.
Yes.
I said when you had the yellow.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying I can't do it.
Till I can't no more.
What up, John?
Yeah, Damien, they was really hard filming for MTV. They was doing that little stuff for the show.
Which one?
It's all in Williamsburg.
Oh, okay.
It's filmed. I was like,
Really?
yeah, it was like you couldn't park there. The guy was like, you got to move your yard. We filming. I'm like, okay.
Hey.
Excuse me, rock. You got one tone, that's it?
Oh, yeah.
It was acting like they doing a movie. I'm like,
Oh.
like, he's like, yo, you can't park here. I'm like, and like 2 other cars parked there. I'm like, really, dude? You gonna single me out? You let this?
You out.
Yo, I got you in town. I'll definitely hit you up. Like I said, I'm going to be down, in the area later on.
Excuse me, Wiz.
What's up, DNA?
Everything's live, Facebook, YouTube?
Yes, we all live.
Mhm.
Wiz up in the building.
That's right, I'm in the building.
What up, Scooby? What up, Ace Boogie? What up? This is DNA Radio. DNAradio.net presents BU and BU Nations with your host, Rockman. I'm here with my boy Wiz.
What up, y'all?
All right.
Shout out to the nation.
Every Saturday at 6:30 will be BU. This BU is a live interactive radio program for our brothers and sisters within the same gender-loving community and the LGBTQ community. BU and always be true to thyself. To be true to yourself takes courage. It requires you to be introspective, sincere, open-minded, and fair. It does not mean that you are inconsiderate or disrespectful of others. It means that you will not let others define you or make decisions for you that you should make for yourself. BU on DNAradio.net is a radio program to help support and uplift our brothers and sisters within the same gender-loving community and our download communities. We are human beings who have a life, not this so-called lifestyle. BU is not a radio program that gives away any of our same gender-loving or download intimate secrets within our community or anything of that nature. So please understand that we at BU are not trying to be a so-called superhead or tell-all program. Furthermore, BU is not a gossip type program such as TMZ, Page 6, or Wendy Williams, etc. We, the BU at BUNation.net, staff, the family, come and love and support. Again, I'm your host, Rockman. All right. Today, I'm going to talk about something. I call this a spectrum. Basically, when you hear the word spectrum, tell me what some of the first things that come to your mind. I got a couple of general ideas of some of the questions I want to get off the line. But basically, I feel like spectrum, and anything can be a contrast of what we do in life, period. And there's also a spectrum that exists within our community. Some of us are aware of it, some of us are blind to it. Some of us don't really give a rat's ass about what it could be because we're just happy the way it is because I guess we feel like we don't fall on the spectrum. And I believe that to some degree, there are certain individuals that, we don't place on the spectrum. What up, Adrian? Anyway, one of the many things I want to say about spectrums are, let's just say, since we're same gender loving, or we're talking about the LGBTQ community, what spectrum does one fall on when it comes to finding the same gender attractive? Some of us take it deep, some of us maybe on the surface with it, or better yet, in terms of we're placed in a position where that individual feels that that's where they're most comfortable at, and they don't need to progress any further or digress any less than where they feel more comfortable associated at. And it could be a broader horizon, like we talk about feminine, masculine. We could talk about certain types of cultures of music, fashion. We could say certain trends. Think about groups of people that you might deal with, cliques. Certain people might be into reading, books, that type of things, or theater, art. What up, nephew? I see you, nephew. What's going on? What's another word we could look for when it comes to certain spectrums? Again, even certain tastes when it comes to music or even foods. Like I said, we could chalk it up to different type of cultural diversities because our community is definitely full of cultural diversity with different types of cultures, not just from different countries and different races, but basically about, I guess you could say, degrees as to how certain individuals might want to live their life. And who knows, there might be others who's going to follow that guideline or that protocol because they closely resonate with, that way of life, basically, Again, I could say that us, I can speak for myself, being, same gender 11 myself, that, I guess certain people feel like they want more when it comes to finding companionship with, the same gender. And, I don't know too much about, women when it comes to like, as far as them being lesbians or gay or, same gender loving. I don't know like what goes on in their lifestyle. Maybe I need to have, somebody over here that could kind of fulfill that perspective, But my first question is, what are your general desires outside of sex that attracts you to men? But I know I'm not gonna get an immediate response, so I'll let you guys, digest that a little bit. But what up, Rel? Oh, okay, my man Rel's here, so I'm ready for that jousting match you're telling me about. Make it interesting, make it hot for me, because you definitely got that mind that gets stuff rolling. The topic today is spectrums and where do we fall on them? What up, Mitchell? The first question I just dropped was, what are your general desires outside of sex that attracts you to men? All right, nephew, I already know your style, but yes, let it be known. You want to care to elaborate with that because that's just a broad spectrum. Think about the details. What would you better identify yourself humanly that you feel like it resonates for you, that what you feel or your general desires outside of sex that attracts you to the same gender. What's going on, Gloria? Gloria and Andy Lee. Okay.
What's up, Gloria? How you doing?
But one of my general desires outside of sex that attracts me to men is definitely some kind of style. I like, of course, keep a decent conversation. I mean, as you know, I'm a sapiosexual, demisexual, and intelligence is definitely something I'm often attracted to. Basically, when it comes to dealing with certain individual types. Well, of course, I do like, the masculine version, variety of those types, but then there also are exceptions to the rules where we're not going to split hairs there. I'm just going to stick to the main scope. Um, that's just on the surface. Definitely a pill. I mean, if you have some kind of confidence, like, that's kind of what I desire my mate, period. That you have to have some kind of confidence about yourself, or at least that you're confident enough to get me. But well, definitely. And I like this so-called thing called swagger. I think because I got plenty of it. Uh, who said what, nephew? Again, those are the things. So yeah, I could also go to figure out what you should ask yourself that question. What are your general desires outside of sex that attracts you to men? If you're a man like me that's attracted to other men. All right. My next question is, who? Why do we shame one another when it comes to goals, agenda, drive, preferences, groups, or ideals? Last time I checked, there's no guideline or protocol or book that's a tell-all that says that this is a guideline or principles. Men who like to deal with men or same-gender loving or LGBTQ that we have to follow to live up to be that particular who set the standards that's how we have to live. Again, like I said about labels and stuff, and how certain people use labels to identify, certain categories or certain types of knowing what it is, but certain labels don't quite define it for certain people, especially with people who don't identify, again, where they place or where they feel they fit on the spectrum. Again, most people don't seem to understand that, yeah, we do, even in our community, we do shame each other based on how certain people might, vary, where we have one thing in common, like I said, as homosexual men, down low men, or bisexual men. One thing we all have in common is that we find men attractive for whatever reason. Again, this is where we fall on the spectrum. Some might require more than others. Oh, I like what you said, Rel, and I'm definitely reading it. Okay, Rel says, I find the bonding men have with each other, the power of brotherhood and understanding. Understanding is attractive. Absolutely. I couldn't have said it more. I was actually looking for those words. Thank you kindly. I was actually looking for, no, nephew, you're a different kind of hybrid. You're a special breed, so we're not even going to talk about you. But I'm going to piggyback off of what Rel just said. Yes, it's really about the connection on certain levels. What are called tastes? Certain levels of that you resonate with, what I'm saying? Because certain men I could find spiritually and mentally attractive, but I don't find them physically or sexually attractive, meaning that I don't want to get in bed with them. But the qualities that they give off, I feel like I'm attracted to those qualities because those are qualities I may not possess myself. So therefore, whatever I see, I would find myself basically kind of around them in a way of like, okay, what can I get from them? Can I pick their brain? Maybe some of their quality could rub off to me where I could create something new or unheard of that only I could create because of the influence I've been dealing with that particular individual. And I'm pretty good at utilizing and I won't say manipulating, but kind of transforming energy. And I'm pretty good at that. My nephew said hi to you. Yeah, you.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yeah, nephew, he would actually kind of like your type too. You definitely up his vote. Yeah, this is DNA right here. All right. My next question is, how can we come together as a whole, or a group, or a community to tackle our issues? As it stands, do you really think that there are issues, governing or within our community that we kind of go to on a day-to-day basis, whether we meet somebody at a club or bar, or even some of them dating apps and sites that we have on our phones, because we're in an era that we have smartphones and the app to do anything, whether it's the call for a cab, Uber, call for something to eat. We got everything's the world's at our fingertips. But basically, how can we come together, as a group, as a whole, to show people things? Because I often found an issue from a conversation I was having with a buddy of mine a couple of nights ago. We was talking about like why should we have to go out our way to do certain things to kind of gain respect and help, people understand certain issues that exist within our community? And yet, at the end of the day, I can't blame society or even the heterosexual society for even taking us serious on certain issues, because we ourselves don't really seem to have it together to say that we can act civil, or like you said, have this understanding of the so-called unity and brotherhood that's how that's the way it should be. But yet we have a discrepancies because certain people don't resonate with or associate with, hey, I work for this faction, or I follow this spectrum, and this is an issue that's more important to me, so therefore I want to contribute my energy towards fighting for this goal only if this is going to be the fight. What up, Derek? And I seem to think that if certain things don't fall on the spectrum where it's important, or the a view or value for that particular individual, you're not going to really get that person's fight or support. And at the end of the day, they're only going to fight for what they believe in. And then that's kind of, I can more or less say that's kind of true for me as well. I could do, I could fight for a lot of things, but not everything is really my fight. And I know that might, sting for a little bit on certain people, especially people who value my particular brand of intelligence. My next question is, can you honestly say you have what it takes to truly pursue certain individuals? Now, I honestly say that this is an issue that's not really talked about within our community. We all was taught that in life, if you work hard for certain things, you will go for it. Things that you want, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. But what if your goals and your dreams aren't reality-based, or they're not realistic? And I go to say that for, let's just say, the ideal person you decide to say, hey, I can spend the rest of my life with. We can't help who we fall attracted to, because again, attraction falls on the spectrum as well. What up, Matthew? And again, certain appeals that individuals may give to you, you may get that another individual may not, appeal to you on that level. What up, Rashid? And as a result of, not being able to resonate with that particular view of what that individual see, or what they have their heart or they, mind set to, again, I find myself asking this question, does it have to be this individual, or can I seek a different individual? They may give more or less the same appeal physically and sexually, but on other aspects of what, is lacking and missing, can I look for those aspects within that particular individual that, the previous person didn't give? Thank you, Rel. And again, I tend to think that as men, we got to get a good grip on things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, as to what falls within our jurisdiction of what can we do? Where does our power lies, as far as like what can we ascertain, what can we strive towards to really have in our lives? Jonique, what up, Jonique?
What up, Red?
Red is in the building. So how about that? Why don't you answer that question, bro? What do you think about that? What up, Joshua? I see, nephew. Yes, you do have a short attention span, and yes, as a Leo, you gotta have something that's going to really, lock it down and keep you focused. Because you just all over the place. I mean, I see you got great quality and potential, but it's very, very, very hard for you to, get that. Somebody really have to find a way to match your particular brand of, craziness. I mean, that's not a bad thing, but hey. I don't know. Anybody got what it takes to control out of control Leo? I mean, what are you, like, what, 31, 32? No, wait, you're only 4 years younger than me, so you just turned 33. Yeah, you're getting up there. Yeah, fire, turn it up. I see 2 Leos in the building too. What up, Ray Clay?
What up, Ray?
All right, my next question is, where do you feel you fit on this so-called spectrum? Again, like I said, the spectrum varies, depends on the subject or the category we talk about and where you fall underneath. Like I said, and they get value from numbers. What up, Garrick? Again, I feel like my level, my particular brand, I used to believe at one point when I first started this. Your nephew, you need to stop paying attention to what's going on in the background and more attention to some of these questions, because it's going to be a matter of time before you come across certain individuals that rock like that on the spectrum. And hey, if you want your shot at them, you got to find a way to appeal to them. Other than that, you ain't going to get your shot. I just look at it like that. The ones who happen to be eclectic and have some kind of specialty or perk with them, they tend to be the most sought out people because of the fact that you don't often see them. People, they're on the weird end of the spectrum, and sometimes that weirdness could be just what's needed, because life tends to be bland and boring, and on top of that, it's a mixed bag of shit. But again, where do you feel that you fit on this so-called spectrum? All right, well, let's see. What is I about to say, man? All right, again, we're here live, so I mean, if you're just tuning in, the topic today is about spectrums, and I dropped a few questions. I'm going to go over them, but you can hit it live, 917-727-8020. Again, that number is 917-727-8020. Again, this is a dialogue, not a monologue, so please let us hear your comments, your concerns. If you feel shy about your voice, you can type it in the box, and I'll be more than happy to address your questions. So, what do you mean I'm blocking your view? I mean, you got plenty of time to deal with whatever it is you want, and you funny right now. I mean, I don't know. He might just like your particular brand. Well, Rel, you always say the most intelligible things. Okay, you say, I think you have to do some homework on that person before you step to him. You need to know for sure what you bring to the table, and if what you bring to the table makes sense with the men, with the meal, and that's all. Wait, there's more. Hold on. And that's already at the table. Does your food complete the meal?
So, Rock, for our radio listeners, you were reading a comment from one of the Facebook friends.
Yes, that was what Rel Lacey had commented about.
Okay, so that's on radio. Yeah.
All right, so Rel was basically reiterating some of the things I said about basically where you fall on the spectrum, and do you have what it takes? Well, can you honestly say you have what it takes to truly pursue certain individuals that you find a particular interest in? And I often say to myself, like, I'm gonna elaborate more. If I'm on the receiving end of where I'm pursuing an individual and that person is to my liking, I gotta honestly see, do I meet that person's standards as to what kind of person they want to talk to? Can I resonate and say the right things that they would want to, deal with me, or give me the time of day to see if, hey, is it possible? Can we take it to the next phase? Certain people do. Some people don't identify like, hey, I don't want to be approached to talk to, and sometimes you got to deal with the fact that that's what that individual is. I like to watch and observe to see what a person is capable of first before, I go, I guess you could say, seal the deal or going for the kill.
So when you're talking about that, so in what environment are you speaking of?
Anything. I'm mostly talking from like if I see somebody in public, basically. Like.
Is it a club?
It could be at a corner store, convenience store, a neighborhood walk or gathering. It could be a club, or it could be a park. I mean.
So you're sizing them up.
Well, yeah. I mean,
you know that thought.
Well, yeah. If I find somebody, I like to see more than just you're a pretty face. Like I want to see how you move, how you interact and do things. I want to observe and see what kind of person you are on the surface.
So what's the main thing that turns you on? If it's not the look, if it's not just one look.
Initially, it is the look at first, but then how do you appeal? How do you move? Your body language. What does it say? Again, and then if you interact with people, I want to see how you react to other individuals and stuff like that with different personality types, and that could kind of helped me gauge a little bit better as to what to expect if I actually could shot a word or that started a conversation.
You do all this observation just to say hello. I mean, you're not trying to marry the person at first.
It's not about marriage. I'm sorry that you came up to that conclusion that that's what it's about. But again, you don't know what that person has going on in their life, and they may not want to welcome certain. I have my days where sometimes I don't care who you are. I really put the air on, hopefully that people get the message. Hey, don't approach me. I don't feel like being approached right now.
But is that the norm for guys like yourself who are attractive and masculine? Or is that the same thing with the feminine guys? That they have to put this same wall of armor on, I suppose it's called, to
What up, Corey?
To runaway people? I mean,
I wouldn't say runaway people, but think about it. Everybody has this agenda. They could just come up with anything, but they think that, hey, I could just do whatever. I have a sense of entitlement that I can do things. Like, I don't really feel like I have time for those people who have that arrogance about them that they think they could just.
But is it really arrogance, or you're just perceiving it as arrogance?
It's not what you do; it's how you do it.
So let's say, since I think Jay-Z's topic is pretty popular right now in regards to the NFL, if a gentleman similar to yourself, the two of you are right there, just waiting for the subway, let's say, or whatever the case is, and he started asking you, what's your opinion about Jay-Z's NFL situation? You'll put up the armor and the barriers to size them up before you even answer, oh, what's up, how you doing?
A simple what's up, how you doing, without no, objective or motive behind that. I mean, it's easy to do that and say you're not up to something. But if you have something like you have an agenda, like, okay, I could look at certain people and be like, okay, I know this particular individual type because I've been around that particular individual type. I know how they operate. And therefore, I would know the ins and outs as to how to approach, because that individual may want to be approached a certain way if you want if you have some agenda behind things. And sometimes, I'm not saying we all have agendas. Not all of them are bad, or like I said, they all fall someplace on a spectrum. That some of them might be more lighter in general than others, or some of them may be more deeper or well planned and well thought out. That they have this plan that at the end of the day, this is going to be the end conclusion where we're going to end up here.
Well, I was walking around trying to set up stuff, so I didn't hear the entire spectrum. Did you mention what the spectrum is?
It depending on the category and the topic, we all fall in the category. Basically, let's just say from 0 to 100. Some people are 96 about it. Some people are 4. But you gotta respect the fact of where that person falls on the spectrum to say, hey, can I approach this person? Let's just say that person you're trying to approach may be a 74. That might be too extreme to you. So why don't you find like a 16 or 17 or something that's close to your speed where you don't feel like it's too much for you, or it's beneath where you feel like, hey, this is the proper challenge for me. God bless.
So it seems like we always get back to this same situation. I think we discussed it in previous weeks.
What up, Keon?
So how long would that observing take place? 10 seconds, 5 seconds?
So let's just say this: the way my process is, 5 seconds could be like 3 hours for me. I'm just giving a gauge as to where like I could process the things that I feel is for me when I feel like I'm on something. Again, everybody's process is different. Not everybody may have the same process. Some people might process faster or slower than where I do, but I feel like I do what's necessary for me because this is about me.
So have you met people who does the same thing you do?
I can't say that they have. I don't know what their process is, but.
Well, see, because the reason why I asked that, because to me you're amazing, and I never, like I told you before off radio, I would say I never articulated the way.
Well, you learn when you gave up the time, go with the flow, and just let anything go. And then you had bad sex or realized that you were more.
But you're not trying to sex the person. You just want to go in a conversation.
I'm given many things, but that usually tends to be the place that people tend to go. More or less, that's usually the end game of, they're trying to figure out how they do it. Or, because trust me, they could cut out the middle stuff. They could cut that out and skip right to the. If you could have a conversation without sex and 100 people would opt for that option.
They prefer to go right to the sex without the conversation.
Yeah, because the conversation, sometimes you can find out why you can't have sex with that person. And if you can find out that, hey, this person may find out that, hey, I'm not cool with this, rather than let's just go there and just figure out the details later.
So you're saying you're doing all this observing, and the computer in your brain is going just to have a quickie.
It's not. First of all, a quickie. I don't look for quickies like that. My kind of thing is quickies when I'm already established with that person. We don't have the time to go do the full 9 yards. That's a quickie to me.
So a stranger, you can never have a quickie with a
No,
stranger.
because I can't connect with that person for the simple fact strangers want more than what I'm willing to give out. And that's not good enough for people. They see me as this, so I live at this standard. What are you doing to appeal to get me at this standard? Because I exist at this level. I'm not lowering myself to your level so I can be used to what you feel like you want to do. Because then this is going to be more for you than it is for me.
So you never, I shouldn't say you never.
I've settled before. Settling taught me that I didn't have to settle.
But you settle for a conversation, or you settle for the main course?
Even the conversation, sometimes I humor myself, but okay, I'll go with it because I know exactly what's going to go, and I'll just play the game with you and see what it is. But then I find it fun and amusing that I could pretty much put a stop to anybody's game because I already see it. So therefore, okay, you want to play that game, then I'll hurt your feelings and show you in the long run. And you'd be like, why didn't you just spare me before? Well, you decided to want to go there, so I decided to let you think you had a chance.
So let me have a little situation. About a year ago, I was doing something. I think I went into the Dunkin' Donuts, right? And there was
Michael?
There was a homeless young man, younger than me, and he was opening the door, opening and closing the door, letting you in. And when I went in, I didn't even notice he opened the door for me. When I came out, he opened it again. But that's not for me, it was for everybody. And then I think I gave him a tip. And then we had a nice conversation for about a good 10 minutes. And for some reason, I wasn't in a rush.
But then sometimes, what is the gist of a conversation? There's got to be some kind of order or goal that you're trying to achieve through the conversation. I mean, through conversation, you're trying to get to know somebody.
No, definitely not, because you know my type. So it was definitely not my type. It was just another black brother, and I don't know if I posed the question. I think he read my hat, DNA Radio, and he had asked the question, "What's that?" And that's when I got into holding a conversation with him. And we just started talking, this, that, and the other. And he was just saying different things about whatever. So it wasn't like what you're saying, sizing him up, looking him up and down, or you don't have on.
Well, all right. Let me rephrase that then. I was looking for, as far as a conversation where you're interested in that person. You might want to go on a date with them. You might want to spend time with them. You might want to sweep them at their feet or caress them. I don't know.
I thought today's topic was same-gender loving individuals.
Where we place them fall on the spectrum as same-gender loving men.
And I thought it was about not a sexual topic tonight. So just.
Well, it wasn't. That's not how I did it. Basically, we were talking about the general desires of attraction outside of sex. What attraction is.
That's what I'm saying. You said something outside of sex.
Yeah.
So this situation at Dunkin' Donuts, free commercial, was was definitely outside of sex. He said if he didn't open the door, I probably walked right past him. I was just in my own little world. No disrespect. And if he didn't, if he would not have asked about the baseball cap I was wearing with him, I will go get the cap and show it to the world what cap I'm talking about. I think I will show him in a minute.
But it wasn't like he was trying to get a date or trying to get something like to get time with you. He probably really wanted a donation, basically.
Yeah, he got the donation.
That was basically, I mean, my point was now that kind of coincides with what we're talking about. Like I said, the spectrum. Some people may want certain things outside of attraction, even, and outside of sex. They might have a different goal or agenda in mind that they're looking for. And the only reason why certain people start conversations because they know, okay, I have to start somewhere to get someplace.
So when we were at the Popeye, I think last week, and the gentleman, I didn't have any change on me, and the gentleman was asking for, some donations, right? And you were kind of giving some. I had like 20. I don't give a 20.
Oh, that's too generous.
Wait, too generous. Thank you very much. If I had some singles, maybe. So he was like, what do I have to do for this, right?
Me love you a long time.
Anyway, so I'm saying, so you couldn't hold a conversation with a gentleman like that? That was.
Well, that's outside of you thinking you're trying to get me or seduce me or trying to get me home with you. I can have those particular conversations, But I'm trying to say is I'm gifted enough to know that if you think you're gonna start off there and then segue to find a way, eventually find you to someplace where, trust me, I would detour you or derail you from your plans because I'm not an idiot. Like I know if you're trying to take the conversation to a place that I wasn't, I would gladly guide us right back to the subject because this is what it was. So I'll keep a conversation centered specifically on that. If it's not about that, then there is no conversation.
So Rockman. So what is the I don't want to say typical, but for lack of a better word, what is a typical conversation you might have for like a pickup line? What's that? What is that magical pickup line that will either you wind up in their bed or they'll wind up in your bed? What is like? Is there a line? Is there a vibe?
I think it's more of the vibe. I don't think there's a specific line that could be said. I think it just depends on entirely the chemistry between two individuals that they share it, and it'll go there. But it can't be one-sided. It's got to be a mutual thing. Like one can't want it more than the other. Usually, I found like, again, that could work for certain people who may identify with being overly aggressive or overly submissive. The submissive person might like somebody advancing to them, be overly aggressive like that. And of course, if a person approaches that way, it's a sealed deal. Like, you know, so like I said, it falls on the spectrum of those two people happen to resonate on that same spectrum. But now, if you fall on different spectrum, like you're on opposite ends of the spectrum, and you're hoping to be favorable with that person, one person's got to meet that person at their zone. Because if you're not, it's just not going to work.
Okay, if I'm taking you off topic, just give me my cue, and I'll be quiet back here. Just keep on pressing the buttons. Am I getting a cue?
No, you good.
Not yet.
No, you good. You good.
So, would you be so kind to give us, the radio listeners, social media viewers, what is a typical pickup situation? Like, give us a scenario. Like, give us a.
I mean, first of all,
Act 1, Scene 2. How would it go?
I look at it like this: you got to be at the right place to facilitate those things. Whatever the mind you, it can happen any place. But I feel like, in my opinion, this is my opinion. I feel like the most better place is maybe an outing place, maybe a public place, or like I said, usually a club or a bar is perfect. That's a nice setting. I mean, you're there to socialize, you listen to music, you have drinks, so you have plenty of things to deal with, talk about things, socialize. You see other people, you know, you can people watch and, you know, see things, and somebody may approach you. You might notice them, or they might, you know what I'm saying? However, which way it works. You tend to see those things, and you could kind of work from there. Like I would prefer, you know, those particular settings because it's easier for that simple fact. Like the only time I'm going to be at somebody's club or bar is if I'm single.
Okay, let's say you're sitting outside in a public bench or a public place where you can just, you know, sit, right? And well, first there's somebody that turns you on and sitting there first, and you're tired, and there's only one place to sit is next to them, and now you sit next to the individual. Would you break the ice by acknowledging them by saying, "What's up? What's popping? What's good?" Like, how would that go? Let's say there's a cutie like you, you're a twin that's attractive like you. And he's sitting there, you're tired. There's only one place to sit, but there's enough room for three of you.
Well, it actually depends on, you know, I guess the vibe I feel, and it also depends on if I feel like I'm actually open for wanting to talk to somebody. Like, you know, if I don't feel it that night, I just don't feel it that night. But some nights I might feel like, you know, I might see it like that. And again, depending on the individual, I would say 8 to 9 times out of 10, I would approach them and, you know, find some way to break the ice. Or sometimes I would actually either let them kind of, you know, see how it goes, or I just stay in my world sometimes, you know. Sometimes.
So suppose you're just tired. There's only one seat within a mile's radius. So say he's sitting there, but there's enough room for three people.
What, Jabari?
Right? There's enough room for three.
Well, I don't know, because
no
I would just sit, like, I mean,
would you acknowledge the person by, "How you doing?" and then just sit and mind your business? You broke the ice by saying, "How you doing? What's up?"
But sometimes I don't feel like that's even necessary to just say hi, like unless we made eye contact, like. But there's no reason for me to sit down and acknowledge somebody, or vice versa, if that's the case, because I don't know what's on that individual's mind, just like they don't know what's on my mind. So like, I don't feel like just saying hi to somebody, unless like you were neighbors and I see you in passing every day.
Never saw the person. Okay, so you need to tell me.
I'm not compelled to just say hi to somebody who unless we make eye contact. Unless we make eye contact and we look for a certain amount of time, I'm like, hey, how's it going?
Okay, so it's a young black person like yourself. So you have probably two things in common. You're both black men and you're both young. So do you feel that there's a threat there, or either do you feel that he might be up to no good, or he might?
I don't even. The thought never comes to my mind. Like I said, when I'm in public, unless I'm like actually with somebody, I have my headphones on and I kind of ignore people. Like I don't really.
Are you a millennial?
No,
Yeah.
I'm an AIDS baby.
Oh, okay. So people purposely wear these headphones to avoid.
I want to say they do, but like I said, for my whole point is I don't want to give up the air that like I'm so easily approached by anybody. Like any stranger can just walk up to me and
But it's
just.
not about sex. You got.
I didn't say that. I said in general. I don't like people just to say. Sometimes you got annoying people. Like for instance, and I have a. You know me. You said it yourself. I have a friendly disposition that people could come to. Sometimes I have to learn how to dissipate that. That I don't want just anybody just walking up to me. I had this one. I would say kind of slow person just talk to me, have a conversation like, hey, you want to be my friend? Da, 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 da. I was like, I really want to listen to. And in my head, I was like, I really want to listen to music. I don't want to be rude and tell this person to go away, or like I don't want to talk to you, or I'm not trying to be a friend. But yeah, I just let them talk, and I was just sitting there like, is there an off switch? Like, this is why sometimes when I have my thing, I like to kind of do that to annoy people. Unless you say something that could resonate, that I feel like, hey, if you happen to talk about something like, I like video games. Now, if I had one of my devices out and you see me and you feel like you want to break that, like, oh, yo, I got that game, or yo, I got that for my little nephew, da da da. Then that's the perfect way. Then I want to talk because you're talking about something I actually want to engage in.
Okay.
So it's got to be something along that. If it's not along that, and I think it's kind of rude for me to do the same thing, to try to just embark on just trying. I just gonna invite myself to their life. Unless it's something relatable, I feel like we could be on that level, and that would be the subject of topic that we kind of focus on. Then it'll be that. But if I can't see my way in, there's no reason for me to, interject into that person's life. I don't know what that person goes through. They may not want to welcome energy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he always drags me out of the grave when he says those things. So I'm out of the grave because
come bring some life to them.
Our general manager wears me out sometime with that. He'll complain about it later. He'll be like, "Oh, why did you say that?" But hey, look, to the audience and to people who just heard that statement, what I would say to that, to add my 2 cents, they say sometimes you can't. Everybody's energy is not good. I'll say that. So there are some people that they can't get that from you, much of you, or anything more than a hello, and that's it. So energy is important. So just because someone came up to you, and this is not even on a sexual level, if they're asking about that game or that device, you have to learn. We all have that. Well, I don't know if we'll say we all. That's too broad. Learn to have that. We must be careful of, the energies that we allow in our space. Energy is real important. And sometimes that 10 to 15 minutes can be the worst 10 to 15 minutes of your life if you don't know how to choose wisely. That was just my 2 cents.
Well, I like that food for thought, man. That got me feeling. That's definitely big facts. I agree, Daryl. But yeah, like I said, I sometimes I hear certain things, conversations that other people may be having amongst their friends or people that they may be traveling with, and sometimes even I could tell that there's a gauge. Like you could tell whether you can approach the situation or be a part of it, or just kind of say, "Hey, I listen, but I'm just minding my business. Like I can hear it, but I don't have to interact or become part of that." Because for that person might look at you like what the fuck? Like I didn't invite you. Like who's you to come here to share this laugh and that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get it. It's not for everybody. And some people just, and when people, and I find it funny that some people do invite themselves in on things, and then they have intentions and agendas to get to some place that they know they have no business trying to go, but hey, that doesn't stop them, because if they see that they can go there, they see the plan, and some people have the plan and the groundwork from A to Z, and they know every contingency and every loophole to, all this that the DNA was talking about. For those of y'all that want to become a part of our radio family, this is us right here. Yes, DNA Radio. But yeah, all right. For those of you who just tuned in, the topic today is the spectrums, and most people don't think that there is a spectrum that exists within our same gender loving and LGBTQ community. What up, Courtney? For those of us who's not familiar with it, like I said, I dropped a whole bunch of questions. And I got a bonus question as well. But the first question I dropped was, what are your general desires outside of sex that attracts you to men? The next we got, why do we shame one another when it comes to goals, agenda, drive, preferences, groups, or ideals? Followed by, how can we come together as a whole, as a group, or a community to tackle our issues?
Is that number 2?
No, that's number 3.
Number 3, sorry.
All right. Number 4, can you honestly say you have what it takes to truly pursue certain individuals? Number 5, where do you feel you fit on this so-called spectrum? And the bonus question, are you an asset or a liability to your agenda?
What would a liability be?
Basically, think about certain personality type. Let's just say you're a control freak, you're narcissistic, or you're overly aggressive. That might be a crutch for you to pursue the individuals that you may be attracted to. The individuals you may be attracted to may not like somebody who pursues them in an overly aggressive fashion. So to me, that's a liability.
Were you aware of these liabilities in your youth?
Oh yeah, it started with women. When I realized that my particular type couldn't cater towards the women that I actually find attractive. Even still to this day, that's still true, that the type of man that I choose to be or aspire towards, including with the intelligence and my profound way of speaking, it only goes but so far. And again, like, especially when it comes to the standards of women, if I can't deal with a particular woman that, I feel like is for me, then a woman can't be a choice for me. I feel like at this point I'll be settled, and if I settle, then I wouldn't be here doing this radio station. And wouldn't be a choice for me.
So with dating women, which I'm thinking of the word gender. That's the word I'm doing. Which gender, the female or the male, puts more pressure on a person like yourself? Like when you date a male, do we expect you to bring a lot to the table?
To some degree, some of them did. Most of them, believe it or not, a vast majority cared about sex more than they cared about like the other aspects, like financial and stuff like that.
Which gender is this?
Males.
Males
seem to be more sexually driven than women. That's not saying women don't have their agenda or they're not as quick to be about having a sexual agenda like we do. But I feel like when it comes to me, being on the table, that's usually what I fall victim to. As far as females go, I would say females have a higher standard when it comes to just approaching them, just to say, hey, what's up? Or that you have, other things on your plate besides, hey, I'm trying to get you in bed, or I'm going to see, I want the drawers.
So that's the male perspective?
For the females, yeah, they have a higher standard as far as,
they want you to bring more to the table.
Yeah. And then I feel like women, you have a checklist of things. First of all, you gotta have good dick. You gotta have how to use the dick. You gotta have money. You gotta live alone. You gotta have a car. You can't live with your mom. You gotta have so many things that even if you have those things, you still gotta abide by a certain standard that says, hey, you qualified, because you gotta show them what you're bringing to the table that no other man has to do. Because at the end of the day, she got a lot of people on her, on her scope. That's that's on her heels like that. Like, she wanted to try to figure out who's the best person that could qualify for, that's worthy of her time. Okay, Rel, you said what? You said, I'm an asset and I'm confident in that. Goes back to knowing what you bring to the table. All right, Jabari, you said liability. Just for being a man. Pounds asset because I'm just awesome. Well, again, Jabari said this.
So Jabari, what makes you this awesome? Awesome, hype it up.
Awesome, just awesome.
Explain to the viewers and listeners so we can understand what makes you awesome.
What up, Mike? All right, Jabari, I don't know if you was listening. My radio manager just asked, what makes you an asset because you're just awesome? What makes you so awesome? I mean, I kind of have my own opinion as to why I feel like that is, but I guess Radio Land want to hear your words on it.
We want to hear yours too.
So I think for a different reason, they may not say words that I might use, that they might use.
Be yourself.
I mean, you already see style, original, then you're different.
Style,
yeah, he's definitely original. He got a different type of style that most.
How about you?
Oh, me.
Yeah.
No, he said he was awesome for himself.
Right. But what makes you awesome?
What makes me awesome?
Yes.
Well, I guess you could say here's a perfect example. I think of how do I say? I think of him like my brother, that we both bring interesting, unique things to the table that would make people feel like you definitely the shit. Like, yo, like, where did you come from? Like, when you do things differently that the world's not offering, because it takes you to be you and nobody else could be you, you tend to resonate and appeal to certain people that feel like, yo, like, this is what is missing in life. Like my it goes back to my last one of my last topics I talked about of a ladies' man and a man's man. It's usually that man tend to be the resonation of what you would say most men should aspire to be towards if they want to be successful to get the people to fall in their favor. Like, hey, what's going on? We got Charms in the building. Stay tuned for Venus versus Mars. That's later on.
We promote other shows. You realize?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Okay, Jabari says the people who loves me deal with my corny jokes, and I don't really mess with people. No, it goes.
The asexual. Mess with people. Why are you laughing?
Because there's so many things you can say, but no, I think he's far from that spectrum. He's very far from that. He may come off like that, but again, that's the uniqueness of people who have a certain type of quirk, or they can be a little bit eclectic. Like, they have such a unique personality and style that, again, it falls so far off and on the spectrum that you don't know where to place it. That you gotta do nothing but appreciate and admire it, because the world's not giving that off. Everybody's more or less doing the same thing and not, being themselves. And I like what you said, Jabbar. He says he bring happiness. I like that. What up, Andre? We're about to promote the other shows.
We should make a drop using your voice. We can stop reading it, just play it in the future, maybe. One day we'll stop the world and do it. So you were talking about women. They were more concerned about
your approach and how your demeanor is, and of course, if you don't send up no creepy vibes or no red flags like, oh, he's only here for this, and like, oh, I know his game, like, so I ain't gonna really entertain it type shit. Some of us, we come with our genders on the table, or then better yet, a lot of us tend to not be truthful. I'm talking about as heterosexual men. Like, from what I've heard, I heard women actually respect us more if we just say, hey, look, if we're here for sex, it's like, let it be known we're here for sex. Like, but then for those of us who have other agendas, like, I feel like this, like, sex ain't my end game, because why? Eventually it'll come in time. And like, especially we both put the time in, like, I'm a catch. I want the satisfaction knowing that my mate or somebody who I'm attracted to, or, have that ideal for, like, they have the same thing in mind for me, that we have the same level of respect, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, the whole thing. And to me, if it's not based on that, like, what's the point? Like, again, what do you bring to the table to make me feel like I'm a different man, and that I'm offering you something that most men will never offer you, or vice versa, whether you're a man or a woman, but in this case, I'm talking about women. Like, what do you offer me from the stance of this perspective of what women could give and bring to the table that only you could give, that no other one could bring? Like, can you go for what you want? Do you know that, you're a catch too? Like, hey, we can feed off each other. Like, I don't mind approaching you, showing interest, but hey, baby girl, you got to do the same for me. And if you ain't doing for me, and I'm the one who's chasing and pursuing, then guess what? I might just lose interest and find something else to do. It's just that simple for me.
So who you get? If it's TMI, let me know. Who do you get along with better, male or females?
I would say companion-wise, as far as just the initial just approaching us to say, yeah, hello, hey, hello, how you doing? I tip my hats off to the fellas. But in the long term, when it comes to catering to your emotional side, your mental state, capabilities and thinking about you on a day-to-day basis, women are by far the best because they nurture those things. They nurture those values and they feel good about being that for you because it's just that important for them as well. And I'm a firm believer is treat people how you want to be treated. And women tend to resonate with that notion more so than the fellows do.
So once again, if it's TMI, let me know. So from your life experience, women gave you that more than men?
Well, yeah, the women I've been in relationships with, the women who I've dated with, yeah, they giving me more than that on that spectrum of, when it came to dating and being in relationships, far better than men because us men, we tend to only focus on a certain aspect. We're conquerors. We're logical thinkers more so than, we think in the long terms and stuff. And sometimes it's about the instant like catch because we're hunters, so we gotta,
So that's how you see it when you do it.
I would say the unrefined male who tends to not think past that, hey, my dick rules every decision I make. That's how a vast majority of us brothers tend to think about that. It's a conquest thing, like that's what we function on. And some fellas games are better than others. Some are just they're non-existent, or it's just like what do you think you're doing?
Did I take you off course, or we're still on course?
Nah, we still did. You want to promote the shows?
Oh yeah, thank you.
All right.
So you want?
All right. We got the #1 internet radio station in the world. This is DNAradio.net. We play the best and new music all day, every day, 24/7. Our live shows are every Saturday and they're scheduled.
I'll go first. At 4 p.m. we have film, food, and more with our host, Damien. I call him Damien D. 4 p.m. every Saturday.
And at 5 p.m. we have the Love and Lust show starring Red Spice, featuring my boy Wiz.
What up? And
that was 5 o'clock.
Oh, you said Red Spice. You said,
yeah.
Sorry.
I said starring Red Spice.
Okay, sorry. Okay. At 6:30 p.m. At 6:30 p.m. on Saturdays, we have. I'm looking up and down. Sorry, my bad. Start again. Live radio, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, at 6:30 p.m. we have BU and BUNation.net, starring the one and only Rockman. What do I call him? Rock?
Maybe I'll do another Q&A and tell you where I got that name from.
I'm sure.
Then we got at 8 p.m. we got Venus versus Mars, and this is a show about anything and everything, and never the show about nothing. At 8 p.m. we have Wiz and our girl Charm, Venus versus Mars.
Venus versus Mars. And on Sundays, this, ladies and gentlemen, once again, like I always say every week, this is a 24-hour radio station. So we're on the air 24 hours a day, not just on Saturdays. From Monday through Saturday, we play hip-hop, R&B, rap, some pop, music, dance music, 24 hours a day. We play the best music. For real. You got to check us out.
#1 radio station in the world, baby.
Yes, sir. And on Sundays, we play gospel music all day on Sundays. And then we have our sister station that plays gospel music all day, every day, 24 hours a day. It's JesusOnlyRadio.com. Yes, right now they're playing gospel music all day. JesusOnlyRadio.com. So check out our sister station, and then of course listen to us all day and every day. Rockman, back to you.
Alrighty. Again, now about this, I think you did say something before we did the promotions. My bonus question was, are you an asset or a liability to your agenda? So again, like I said, I'm trying to deviate off of the sexual path and just say just general on the approaching path. Like I guess sometimes approaching could lead up in to that. And I only say that because when you're in a community, I wouldn't say society, but a community where a vast majority of us males tend to be sexually driven, and it's unfortunately that's the truth. That's the reality. That's not saying everybody's on that agenda, but more or less that's where a lot of us fall. But I'm trying to say like I'm ready to kind of step out of the shadows for certain individuals who may not fall on it. Don't get me wrong, like I like to have sex just as good as the next man or woman out there. You know, we're human beings. You know, but there's other things on up in here that takes precedence more so than just like I want to get you in bed. Like we all have the ability to do that, but again, with whatever agenda you're trying to push off, again, like we all know that it all falls on what you see within an individual, what that person gives off, what their unique individualism is, or the vibe that they get off. Like, again, like, is it important to you? Does it have to be? All right, and
So, what's more important to you, sex or love?
well, that's kind of a broad statement to say, because how would I say? Because to me, sex without love is pointless.
So you don't have any playmates, like friends with benefits, where it's just about the sex?
Unfortunately, no. Because I like consistency, and most of these people like variety. And to me, if I can't have consistency, then I'm not going to be a part of your variety.
Am I getting deja vu? Did we have these discussions before?
Yeah.
Was it on radio or off radio?
A little bit of both.
Proclamation on that one.
Say it again?
The Friends with Benefit part, I thought the proclamation.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's elaborate, definitely.
It's over there somewhere. Well, you can keep talking while I find it.
No, I try to like when I was young in the experience, when I didn't know, like I said, I didn't really care about those. I didn't have a standard like that. It was just whatever happens, happens. But as I grew to learn that I wanted more out of it than just wham bam, like that wasn't enough.
So wait. So you said whatever happens, happens. So was it up to you to not follow through 2 weeks from now, 2 days from now?
More or less, it wasn't even about that. Like I said, like on my time clock, it was more so like obviously if I felt the sex was bad, then no, I was not going to that person again. It's just
suppose it was good. They don't want to marry you. They don't want you moving with you.
Well, no, nobody said all that.
No. I'm not throwing stones at you. I'm just saying they just enjoy the encounters to your friends.
Yeah, we could have, depending on who you are, going to determine how fun these encounters can be.
Wait. I'm trying to understand this. Now I lived a long time, right? So I have friends with benefits. To me that's more fun than the same old face every morning, So anyway, get back to you now. It's not about me.
But for me, friends with benefits is somebody who I've already dealt with, and we had prior.
Well, you have to first meet them, then you become friends, and now because you enjoy the sex.
I don't have sex with my friends. I have sex with people who I'm trying to get involved with. I only have sex with people who I'm trying to be with. Is that a
thing with tourists? Because another Torian told me that years ago. He don't have sex with his friends.
Well, when you have good sex like that, it can't be for just anybody, and I draw a line for that. Because then, what I look like having sex with my friends, and when I need real advice about real life things, you're only going to side with me because of the sex, or are you hoping that?
Well, no, you make it clear. Tell me the truth.
No, none of my friends do stuff like that. People who find me sexually attractive aren't trying to tell me the truth. They only try to tell me what they think I want to hear to maintain that favorable response. That when it does become about sex, they're thinking that, he's going to remember that I disagree with him or I didn't give him this, that. So let me not do that and just say this. Like,
okay. Let me cut you off. But suppose you have other people you consult with, right? And then you have those friends, quote unquote, with benefits. You don't have to go to them for no consultation because they're there for one purpose.
I don't have friends like that, unfortunately.
I can't believe you're young.
No, when I was young, that was them, and I didn't have those standards.
You're still young.
No, but you know what I mean. My standards change. I still grow. Like at some point, age has to take it to accountability at some place. Here's my point. I'm almost 40. When is 40 going to actually be 40? Because I don't look 40 doesn't mean.
What does that mean? When you turn 40, you will act a certain way?
No, it's not that. My mental grows too. What I want, my values, the things I used to want before when I was like 21, 22, I don't want that now.
Having friends with benefits doesn't diminish your values.
How do you know? It doesn't diminish your values.
But it does diminish yours?
Yes.
How?
Because I don't feel the value that I would have on something where I want consistency. Listen, I've had so much good sex that I don't need to have it with you because we're not committed to each other. That it got boring to me.
That's what I'm saying.
It got boring to me because people wanted what they wanted, and I didn't feel the satisfaction of feeling what I wanted fulfilled, what I needed. My needs being fulfilled mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, sexually, the whole 9 yards. I mean,
you go into every sexual encounter with those rules and regulations?
I wouldn't call it rules and regulations. Those are
standards.
Those are just natural
rock
things.
Rock rules of order.
If I can't function on those things naturally, then what's the point?
Okay, break it down. You went through those rules and regulations so quick. Let's hear it again. Slow.
I said mentally,
spiritually,
physically, sexually,
and
emotionally.
Now let's break it down one by one to keep this thing moving. Okay, when you say mentally, what do you mean? In terms of you have to be a PhD?
No, mentally, I mean, not just from intelligent conversation, but basically how you vibe with my particular type of person. If I can't resonate with you on that level, then like sex is gonna be an issue because a lot of my sex is linked to my mental, and if you can't appeal to my mental, it's not gonna happen. Then you're gonna have to deal with a bologna sandwich. Now, if you want filet mignon, you got to put that time in. You got to be on that same level. Now, and if that's your goal. So if that's the case, then why don't you focus on a goal where it's easy for you to get what you feel like you want? So therefore, and I'll match you. I have no problem matching you, but unfortunately, if the building is 80 stories and you only go up to the 5th floor, then I'm sorry, you got to deal with 5th floor level antics then.
Okay, that was the mental, which I'm still not completely understanding. But next, what was that one?
We said spiritual.
Okay, it has to be a Catholic priest.
Religion don't take a place, but spiritual is basically certain, I guess you could say certain factions that you could be driven by where you resonate with naturally in life, where you would find yourself like, perfect example, of course you're going to find a person, an athlete nonetheless, in the realm of anything that has to do with athletics. Now, it might be specific where they might like baseball, they might like soccer, they might like swimming, they might like basketball, but my point is they're going to be in a place where athleticism is the highlight of where they feel like they associate with most. So
that's spiritual.
Well, I'm talking about where they exist naturally. So again, they're going to be at that place naturally. And how would you find a particular person of that natural place unless you naturally resonate, fitting within that void or that realm, or that spectrum, or that genre? Same with music. Let's just say music. Think about
no animal.
what I said? I said music.
I know. I'm being funny.
This just where you would find something that you resonate with in your natural way of life or what you want out of life. You would find that person on the same spectrum. They would resonate naturally, without having to say. Were they led there because they saw other people there, or is that where they feel like they want to be naturally in their own accordance because that's where they feel most comfortable?
So that was mental and spiritual. What's next?
Physically, I guess you could say the same thing.
So you don't like Ralph Crampton's?
What's that?
The Honeymooners, Ralphie boy, to the moon, Alice, to the moon.
He's better. It's better left on the screen than to naturally exist with that. I couldn't function or vibe with a person like that. If a type of personality like that actually existed.
Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about?
I do know. That's what I said. That particular person wouldn't do so well with me.
So when you say physical, you're talking about Mr. Universe?
Not even close. There are exceptions to the rules, but I'm not going to name those exceptions because it would make certain people who naturally aren't exceptions to the rule try to fit there if they're not going to fit the main topic. Because there's a main thing I would look for. Then if obviously the main thing can't be fulfilled, then I'll go to the next best thing. And again, like I said, that falls in the spectrum, but most people would want to figure out what my spectrum is like and how can they place on it.
I have Exhibit A I want to show you in terms of the physical. 1 second. You keep talking before I go get my
The physical, I would feel like what we resonate with. Of course, somebody who's kind of healthy and active. Like I say,
Your Honor, Exhibit A. Please show the crowd.
Exhibit A. Let's see. Why should I show this? This would, I think, this
Any of those would you put into the physical attraction arena spectrum, whatever you call it?
Oh, of course, yeah, because this definitely fits my thing. Like I said, to me, fit doesn't necessarily mean you got to spend time in the gym or be a gym rat. It just basically means that you're healthy, you're active, you take pride in kind of being able to move things. Like you can't bend over and touch your toes. I mean,
you can't pick up the soap.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, I like a little bit of being able to, do things to keep. I would say you got to be able to keep up with me. I don't do very much because I don't exercise. So I'll tell you that I don't spend time in the gym, but I can still keep up with the best of them. Like I can still do things. Like I'm 37. You would say I'm 17 on my best day.
So do you run track again?
I can still do things. I can run up and down a block. I can run up and down a flight of stairs without getting tired, or
How many flights?
Well, I live on the 6th floor, so I kind of
walk up.
Sometimes when the elevator's not working, yeah, I'll walk up. But like if I'm in a rush and I want to get like upstairs, then I'll fly up and then the stairs. But
you take 2 steps at a time. No, not you. I used to take 2 steps at a time.
I never counted my steps when I did things, but
okay.
But I think DNA wanted me to show this. Basically, the epitome of certain types of things like that.
Do they fit your physical whatever attraction? I suppose.
More or less, yeah. I mean, I have
all three.
I mean, I have how would I say? As far as physical goes, I have a broad spectrum where it could be on certain things. Now, mind you, it's not just the physical. I take pride in
closer to the camera.
I take pride in features as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, nice hands, where your ears and your nose maybe associated with, like, on your face and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, how you move, your body language, how you carry yourself, So
you couldn't have a nice orgy with those three, you plus those three, all at once?
I told you, it's not possible. My mindset is only focused for one particular person. I can't focus on 2 or 3 people at the same time because somebody's going to get ignored.
But no, I'm saying, there is 3 of you there, and you're the 4th. Everybody...
I'm going to find somebody who I fancy more than anybody, and I'm going to focus my attention on that particular person.
But the purpose of this gathering was everyone enjoy each other.
Yeah, I just came to this. I'm the type where my mindset is I come to see what I like, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that person away from them because I don't share.
So out of those 3, which one do you prefer?
Oh, of course, I haven't had chocolate in a while. Like, I would like some, some Boricua or some kind of, butter pecan recan. I wouldn't mind a sexy Dominican or Colombian or Cuban, but like.
Have you seen some dark Colombians?
In my youth, but never in my
adult
life? Not in my adult life, or as far as same gender loving, I haven't come across individuals that fit that bill yet.
Had melanin. How you pronounce it? Melanin?
Melanin, yeah.
Thank you.
They haven't had that hue or that tone, but
Dominicans definitely.
Dominicans either been my tone and kind of lighter.
Right. If they don't open their mouth, you swear they're black. But they are black. They come from Africa like us. But
yeah. As far as what I do, like I said again, I have a variety of types. Like I do like muscular, but not overly the top. Like if you're like somebody like Michael Clark Duncan, that's too big. I mean, it's nice to look at, but like I don't imagine myself rolling around in bed with somebody of that stature. That's just too much. It's like when you go fishing, it's like, okay, this is too much. Like I have to throw it back. Like I can't do nothing with this.
You want to read this? I love your voice.
All right. Friends with benefits. It's another way of saying good enough to hang with, good enough to lay with, but never good enough to be with. This is what I just read right here is more the reason why I couldn't be this particular type of friends with benefits unless we've already had prior, like we dealt with each other, like, and I said I can't have sex with somebody.
What are you guys? You didn't want to get married to each other, but you did.
No, I only have sex with people. I only have sex with people I could possibly be that way with. There's a possibility. I'm not saying that has to be that way, but if I don't see me, without you even being a part of the spectrum, if I don't see me being that way on my own accordance with you, sex is limited for me because I know what I'm doing and I know what
It's hard to believe an attractive, gorgeous 6'4",
Yeah, but I
6'5"
can't be
man.
on everybody else's
packing
spectrum the way that
11
other.
inches plus.
Why does everybody else got to be on that spectrum? To me, here's my point. They're so insatiable that every week they have to repeat the process to find somebody who fits that standard of what they're looking for. But whatever the case, whether they're tops or bottoms, I feel like I've looked far too good to be somebody's spectrum to constantly look for the right kind of, like first of all, I have to fight hell and high water with certain bottoms because like most bottoms feel like a top shouldn't suck a dick. But then I feel like what's the purpose of dealing with men if I'm not focused on the dick? I might not want a dick in my ass, but I still like to see a dick hard. I still like to play with a dick. I still like to suck a dick. But if I can't do that and all I'm going to do is fuck, why not deal with women? Women don't have a dick. They're the only ones that can receive dick.
Point well taken. So okay, let's say you met, let's say in your life, 25 bottoms. Out of those 25 bottoms, how many of those bottoms they don't touch my dick?
I don't want to give up.
I'm getting deja vu. We had this conversation.
No, you never laid it down like that. That's a entirely different scenario. That's the first time you actually stated a scenario. Such.
Okay.
But within that case, I would say a vast majority of them feel that kind of way. But I can't speak for everybody because I haven't yet to run across, someone.
Say 25 you met in your life.
Yeah,
they
want to imagine that there's nothing down there, that it's a pussy to them. Like,
and these are masculine looking.
Some of them are, but for the most part, it usually be the effeminate kind.
But I thought you weren't even turned on at all.
No, but some of them happen to be the exceptions where the quality of who they are, their person and individual outweighs their femininity. Those are the exceptions for me.
You actually would sleep with a feminine guy?
Well, because his qualities overshadow his feminine qualities. He may have it, but it's not enough to bother me. And I see a person more so I see a girl or a honey or child or Miss Thing.
And they all talk like that?
Not all of them. Some of them do. Some of them no. It's just hard to say. Like for the most part, to avoid that. Like I would rather somebody not have to feel uncomfortable or feel like they have to adjust themselves to if their level or their natural level comes off to a point where it's applicable, then like I said, more power to you because then I can actually focus on organically dealing with you as an individual, worried about your aesthetics or your style just turning me completely off.
Okay, I'm bouncing back and forth with different things. Let's keep this thing flowing, that's all. I'm not going to take you off the topics. Okay, let's say there was a masculine bottom. They look like you, masculine in every shape, form, and fashion. If you walk down the street, why would ever be guess the person was a bottom, right? Mm-hmm. I'm losing my train of thought as to why am I even bringing this up.
Okay, you're trying to state this crazy scenario, which I know.
Well, no, real life. I'm a matchmaker, right? So I like matching people together. For some reason, that seems like would be one of my hobbies. I don't know, is that a fetish or is it a hobby?
Why can't it be both?
So I have a fetish hobby of matchmaking individuals. Oh, is that the reason why the zone existed, maybe? My own personal fetish? Anyway, back at the ranch. Time of joy existed, maybe? Anyway. Yeah. If you go to a psychologist, you probably break it down to me like that, right? I lost my train of thought, so if it comes back to me, I'll bring it up. And we have like 10 minutes to go before we switch over to Venus versus Mars. But I lost my train of thought. Sorry. But back to your. Oh, you were talking about the.
Thank you, Will.
You said mentally, physically, spiritual, what other?
Then we got sexually. Sexually means that naturally on the spectrum. Again, we all have energy varying in intensity. I guess you could say from 0 to maybe 1,000 or 1,000,000,000. I don't know what numbers you want to use, but something within the realm of Earth where you could actually imagine things. That's all I can say. But on a sexuality level, some people may be actually exactly where I'm at, where it's perfect, where it's just needed. And perfect means that you naturally just there, not like you're trying to stand in line and see who's auditioning to fill or play this part. Because some people try to adjust to a level that they're not actually comfortably existing on naturally. And to me, that's not good. That's like, I don't know, you're a 7-8-year-old child and you're trying to, place in like an Olympic swimming match that you don't qualify because you don't have the experience or that experience level to deal with, being on the intermediate or professional level. So you got to deal with your class of where you're actually more comfortable at. You know what I'm saying? Like some people get into positions where it's too deep for them. They can't rock, but yet they like that. But then again, did you do? I like what Ralph said about doing research and homework. What did you observe about saying why you existed? Okay, you like that. Why do you like that? Okay, I know what's in Rocky Road ice cream, but why do I like it? Do I like it because of what's inside of it? Did I try it before? Did I have previous experience with it? Whatever the case may be, I can't make from what I learned from a friend, I can't make a judgmental opinion about something I've yet to try or say or capable of existing there, or that it comes comfortable or natural. No, I got somebody that said it was in my chest.
So it came back to me now. Want to finish your thought first?
Go ahead.
Okay, I think I was asking a question as to there's this masculine bottom, and he's your friend. Could you see yourself not marrying him because they don't want to get married? They just want to be a friend with a benefit.
No, because I told you I like to do more things with guys than just put my dick in their ass. And if that's the only dynamic, that's what they...
But no, they don't mind you sucking 69s. They don't want no 68. You want to do 69 or whatever else?
No, but the reality is there's not ones that exist on that. They want this to take place, and that's all they see.
They would say something. They do what?
They want that to take place, and that seems to be the only thing that they seem to function on. At least the ones that seem to show interest towards.
Okay, so you're saying most bottoms you encounter just want to get screwed. So you haven't found a masculine bottom that would like suck dick, 69, take turns. Hey.
Same goes with the top. So what they want to do is put their dick in the
I'm
hole.
willing to share one of my shooties with you so you can experience a masculine individual. I won't put titles on them. We don't believe in labels.
But again, like I said, I'd rather go that direction with somebody who I could actually see myself being with and keeping for more than just that one encounter.
You guys been doing whatever. I mean, after 10 years, I'm like, who's next? No. I'm going into left field. I'm exaggerating, radio man. I'm going overboard by acting.
He didn't get his sugar fix yet.
Right. I might tell him that stuff. Commercial. Okay, anyway, in closing, in the last 5 minutes, you want to wrap it up? So, Venus versus Mars can take over the hot seat.
All right, again, I want to say I definitely enjoyed this. Like I said, this is the first of many. Say I think about spectrum, so let those questions resonate in your head about where you think you fall on the spectrum. And again, like whether sex is your goal, your gender, or you legitimately want to spend time with somebody, get to know somebody, cultivate, build, whatever your goal is, just all remember that we fall on the spectrum. Again, you might like certain individuals, and you may think that that individual is playing games, or they're difficult, or they're full of shit, or you got to realize where they fall on the spectrum. And my point is, you don't have to feel faulted for liking them or being interested in them, but also know that where they place on the spectrum, they might not be in the same place as you. So you got to either learn how to adjust with them or actually understand where that person closely identifies with where they feel is right for them. But again, this is BU. And again, this is your host, Rockman. And I will see you guys next week, next time. Hopefully I come up with something intriguing. So until then, enjoy your Saturday nights.
There you have it. God willing, we'll see everybody next week. Well, I'll be here for next show. So anyway, let's get to some commercials or music. Let's get to some music. This is Rockman, host of BU. Well, I'm not Rockman, he's Rockman. This is BU Nation.
Yes, and stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. Stay tuned for Venus versus Mars with my man Wiz and my girl.
What up, y'all? What's good?
Yeah. One of the ways we do this is by having short and meaningful conversation. We understand and appreciate passionate responses. Therefore, we respectfully ask